Welcome back. So I'm going to split the recap of the other 8 games into 2 videos of 4 because the LA game didn't start until ridiculously late, and I'd rather have the final recap and the power rankings done before I drop tonight. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and start off talking about Washington and Boston. So this was a relatively early start. Kemper versus Swayman in this one. Plenty of early whistles. Bruins press at a minute and a half. They draw themselves a power play. Things get punchy on a hold by Darcy Kemper. We had 40 seconds of 4-on-4 as there's a bit of a parade here. Caps would end up with a 4-on-3 as the parade continues. It becomes a 5-on-3, and the Caps score on that. It's Backstrom from Johansson and Orlov at 6:28. I'm going back to calling him Johansson because that's what Peter Laviolette called him behind the bench. Bruins killed off a 5-on-4. Hey, coach would know what he's calling himself. So the Bruins kill off the 5-on-4, but the Caps had the momentum with the lead. The shots are 6-3 in their favor at the half. Bruins press with 7.5 minutes left. Lindholm has a shot that's held. Kemper's been really solid to this point. Caps press with 4 minutes left and coming out of the first period. They're up 1-0. Second period, early press by the Bruins. Things get pushy on a hold by Swayman. Foligno has a shot that he fires high from the slot. Zacha has a shot that's blocked on a rush. The Caps are having turnover issues at this point in the game. We go 4+ minutes without a whistle, roughly 5. The shots are 6-2 for the Bruins at 9.5 minutes. And then on a turnover by Lauko, Hathaway makes him pay at 11:40, and that makes it 2-0 for the Caps. It's posted in from the slot. Caps then draw a power play. That leads to a shorthanded Marchand chance that's saved. That power play is killed off. No shots on that one. Kemper denies Smith on a turnover, and then Foligno wakes up the crowd and wakes up the Bruins. He scores. He buries this one in close from Clifton and Hall at 16:34. So that makes it 2-1 for Washington. The Bruins press for the tie. Kemper holds on. Milano can't bury one in close. The Bruins clear it out. It's 2-1 after 2. Third period. Zacha is denied as the Bruins press. The Caps draw a power play. There's a shorthanded rush that makes it 4-on-4 for 1 minute and 48 seconds. So very short power play. Hall has a shot that saved the Caps, clear it out. Frederick fires one wide from the slot. All's killed off there. The Bruins then get a power play. Bergeron's denied. The Caps clear it out. That's killed off. We then had 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Orlov with a turnover chance. That was held. Ovechkin's denied on a 2-on-1. We get some pushing after that. There's a near miss for Kuznetsov on a rush. Goalie gets pulled with a minute and a half left by the Bruins. With 48.5 seconds left, they call a timeout. And then with 25.5 seconds left, they get a power play. None of it matters. In the end, the Capitals win. Boston loses their second regulation game at home this season. They dropped to 39-8-5 with the 2-1 loss. Washington 28-20-6. And for people following along at home, why, yes, all 3 of the teams I cheer for did lose in regulation today. Thanks for asking. Shots in this one, 9-7 Washington in the first, 11-4 Boston in the second. Both teams had 10 shots in the third. The shots were 28-23 Boston, but I thought Washington played a really good game. Power plays, Washington 1-for-4, Boston 0-for-4. The hits, 37-21 Washington. Kemper saves 27 out of 28. Swayman saves 21 out of 23. I know Boston has a nice cushion atop the league and all, but that cushion is starting to wear away. All right, next up, we have the Colorado Avalanche in against the Florida Panthers. Georgiev versus Bobrovsky in this one. Of course, for both of these teams, they desperately need a win, and they played like it. Panthers draw a power play. The Avs don't let them set up. In fact, they score shorthanded. It's O'Connor from Cogliano at 3:35 on a shorthanded rush. That's only the second shot on net for Colorado in the game. Avs finish the kill. The shots are 2 apiece. At 8:03, Nieto scores from Comfer. The Florida announcer said Nieto with a unimpressive or a suspect mustache or something. Like, it's just, I was like, really? What's wrong with Nieto's mustache? It was weird. So it was a good press. It was buried from the slot. That makes it 2-0 in favor of Colorado. The Avs press for another. Byram has a rush chance. That's held. Things get punchy after a hit on Reinhart. Florida would come out of that with the power play. That's killed off. Georgiev holds afterwards. Georgiev had a very good game. We get a power play for Colorado before the period's out, but Florida kills that off. So you go to the second period with Colorado up 2-0. McKinnon's denied on the opening shift. The Panthers end up getting a power play. Reinhardt's denied. They cycle. Verhaeghe has a shot that's held. That power play is killed off. The Avs press at 4.5 minutes. We had a fight between Englund and Lomberg. Rantanen has a rush chance that's saved. The Panthers press at 6.5 minutes. Eventually they score. It's Ekblad from Lundell and Reinhardt at 7:03, and they're not done. They tie it. It's Bennett. He wires one top shelf on a rush from Eric Stahl and Tkachuk at 8:08. But Colorado, to their credit, they answer almost right away at 8:33. Taves buries a rebound. Byram and McKinnon with the assists there. So that puts Colorado back up, this time by a score of 3-2. Eric Stahl fires one wide on a fast break. The Avs press draws them a power play. Taves breaks up a shorthanded rush. McKinnon then gets the power play marker. He scores from Rantanen at 14:01. He wires that one through some traffic in front. And the Avs would press in the final minute. So they're up 4-2 after 2. But this is Florida. This is a desperately needed victory. The third period was tumultuous. Barkov is a net drive that's saved. They press. Mahura has a shot that's blocked. It's cleared out. The shots on net are 3 apiece at 4.5 minutes. Panthers press at 7.5 minutes. They had some momentum. Rodriguez then had a shot that was held as the Avs would press back. And then Barkov makes it a 1-goal game. He scores from Reinhardt and Tkachuk at 11:03. That scoring change just took place to give Tkachuk a secondary assist. And it's tipped in on a rush. The Avs then get a power play. That's killed off. The Panthers get their turn on the power play as well. That was also killed, and we're down to 3 minutes left. Florida would pull the goaltender with 1:32 left. That allows McKinnon to hit the empty net. He scores the second goal of the game. Rantanen with the assist at 19:01. Your final score in this one's 5-3 Colorado. They go to 28-19-4 with the win. Florida 26-23-6 with the loss. Shots in this one, 20-11 Colorado in the first. Both teams had 18 shots in the second. 16-12 in the third. Florida. Final shots are 50-45 for Florida. Really exciting game. Power plays, Colorado 1 for 3, Florida 0 for 4. The hits were 17-7 for Florida. Georgiev saves 42 out of 45. Bobrovsky saves 45 out of 49. So it's a 5-3 game, but both goaltenders played pretty darn well. All right, next up, Columbus and Toronto. Now, I'm not sure what happened here. I find it odd because Toronto went into Columbus. They beat them. They made it look relatively easy at points last night. Columbus has a terrible road record, but tonight they put it together. So it's Merzlikins versus Wall in this one. There's an early press by the Leafs, and eventually they score. It's Nylander with his 29th of the season from Kerfoot and Yarncroke at 2:39. Fires that one top corner. Jenner defends an Engvall chance. The shots are 3-2 for the Leafs at 6 minutes. Corrali has a shot that deflects wide. Columbus presses. The Leafs shot block. They clear it out. And then on a turnover, Bunting wires one. And Marner gets the assist at 10:40. So it's suddenly 2-0 in favor of Toronto. Not really a surprise, right? Foodie's stick decides it's a good time to die when he was doing a rush chance because Liam Foodie's not allowed to get a goal. Look up his record. It's not going to happen. Bemstrom has a rush chance that's caught. That's held. Power play them for Columbus. There's a near miss for Jenner. They cycle, but Toronto kills it off. So after the first period, it's 2-0, and they outplayed Columbus badly. So the second period flipped the script. Shots are 3-1 for Columbus at 3 minutes, and eventually Jenner buries one from the slot, and Marchenko, the 13 goal scoring streak is done. So this is his first career assist. With 13 goals before his first assist, he is now second on the all-time list behind Joe Malone for the most goals before he gets his first assist at 421. So that's one of those odd records he's going to have for the rest of his career. Leafs pressed to respond. Holmberg, Hall were denied on a 3-on-2 opportunity for Toronto. Nylander fans on a rush chance, and he gets mad after fanning on it, and so he takes out, I think it was Blankenberg behind the net. He turns around and kind of gives him a swat. So they called it as a 5-minute. They reviewed it and dropped it to 2. You could tell Nylander was kind of frustrated. Leafs are getting frustrated. So there's a shorthanded denial of Yarncroke by Merzlikins. That power play is killed off, and then Marchenko gets a goal to go with his assist. He scores from Jenner and Gaudreau at 15:01. All of a sudden, this game is tied. It does not stay tied for long. At 15:58, Corrali gets his 10th of the season. Kent Johnson and Olivier with the assists. Suddenly, Columbus is ahead. How? So we get 2 minutes of 4-on-4 during the final minute, and then with 13.2 seconds left, the Leafs end up with a power play that's a 4-on-3. So that carries over into the third period. At 1 minute and 20 seconds, Morgan Rielly gets his first power play goal of the season. He scores it from Marner and Nylander. It's a tie game. The Leafs then press for the lead, but there's a power play for Columbus. That's killed off. Kent Johnson then scores, but was it a high stick? They review it. Does not take as long as that ridiculous review from the Montreal game earlier. It counts. Kent Johnson from Sillinger and Roslovic at 5:46. So all of a sudden, Columbus is back in the lead 4-3, and that crowd went quiet when that went in. Leafs press for a response. Columbus goes back to the power play. That's killed off. 3 shots allowed. 2 more minutes off the clock. Good back and forth after that. Sillinger can't bury one from the slot. He snake bit as well. Leafs press with 6 minutes left. There's more pressure by them with 3.5 left. They'd pull the goaltender with roughly 2.5 minutes left in the game. 39.6 seconds left. There's an icing by Columbus. But Toronto can't tie it. Your final score is 4-3 Columbus. They go to 16-33-4 in the season. Toronto 32-14-8 with the regulation loss. They've now lost regulation games at home back-to-back for the first time this season, I do believe they said. So the shots in this one, 11-4 Toronto in the first, 21-10 Columbus in the second, 15-8 Columbus in the third. Final shots, 40-29 for the Blue Jackets. Power plays, Columbus 0-4. Toronto scored on the only one they had. And the hits were 40-21 Columbus, so they outshot and outhit Toronto. Merzlikins saves 26 out of 29. Good game by his standards. Wall played well, 36 saves on 40 shots. Toronto just didn't have it tonight. All right, and Rangers and Carolina. This felt like a playoff game. It felt like a playoff game the whole way through, and if this is how the playoffs are going to go, the Rangers may very well end up being a dark horse for that Stanley Cup after all. So it's Halak versus Anderson, and I can't say enough good things right now about Jaromir Halak and how well he's played since a rough start to the season. Canes get 4 shots in the first minute, so Halak is busy. Svechnikov's denied and close. DeHaan has a rush chance that's saved. The teams then exchange rushes. Canes are dangerous in transition at this point in the game. Emotions are ramping up. It has that playoff feel. Halfway through the period, the shots are 11-4 for Carolina. But it's still scoreless. So all those shots, all those scoring opportunities, doesn't matter. Game scoreless. Rangers press, draws them a power play, and they score on it. Mika Zibanejad from Kreider and Panarin at 13:37. Zibanejad buries a rebound on that one. It's 1-0 Rangers, which really was odd because Carolina had dominated to this point. Then there's a near miss for Fox on a net drive. The Rangers press with a minute and a half left, but with 40 seconds left, Carolina gets a power play. So that rolls over into the second period. Svechnikov is a net drive that's held. Jarvis with a rush chance that's saved. They do kill that off. 3 shots allowed by the Rangers on that power play. Near miss then by Martinook. Trocheck's denied as the Rangers press. And then, from a sharp angle, Teravainen scores one at 6:50 to tie the game. Canes press for the lead, and eventually they get it. Kotkaniemi scores from DeHaan and Svechnikov at 9:43. It's a backhander in close on a rebound, and it looks like Carolina might be ready to run away with this one. There's a near miss for Jarvis as the Canes press, and then there's a rush opportunity, and the Rangers tie it. It's Panarin from Trocheck and VC at 17:49. The Canes would press to answer, but after 2 periods, the score's tied at 2. I'm still expecting Carolina to win in the third because I really thought they'd outplayed the Rangers. But third period, surprising things happen. Early jump for the Canes. Burns blasts one high. The Canes press. The Rangers are pinned down. And then they get an opportunity, and it goes in. It's Panarin who puts them in the lead from Schneider and Trocheck at 4:33. Buries a rebound there. Heedle had a rush chance that's tipped out. The shots are 3-2 at the half in favor of Carolina. So 2 shots for the Rangers. 1 of them have gone in. Canes go to the power play. That's killed off. And then Panarin scores at 15:59. That is what we call a natural hat trick. He scores 3 goals in a row in the game. No one else breaking up that natural hat trick. Goalie pull with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left because you gotta. And they score on the empty net. It's Kakko from Lafreniere and Trouba at 17:46. Goalie goes back in, doesn't matter. Panarin scores from VC at 18:56. That's right, Artemi Panarin with 4 goals today. Did he get a helper? Yes. So that's a pretty good game. That's a 5-point game for Panarin, and your final score is 6-2 for the Rangers. They go to 31-14-8 with the win. For Carolina, they're 34-10-8 with the loss. The shots in this one, 13-9 Carolina in the first, 12-4 Carolina in the second, 6-4 Rangers in the third, and 4 of those 6 shots went in. Final shots, 29-19 Carolina. Power plays, 1-for-1 for the Rangers, 0-for-2 for Carolina. Hits, 29-23 Carolina. Halak saves 27 out of 29. Ugly stat line for Freddie Anderson, 13 saves on 18 shots. That's an ouch. So now Carolina's got to pick themselves up and carry on. But for the Rangers, this was a big win. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.